kwani mashakil bijere salambi wansulu kanina kulu hibu badu ya jama mashakil bijere salambi wansulu salam alaikum alaikum salam salam alaikum alaikum salam salam dema bina dibet ya kwani na kan belet ma fi fogo salam dema bina dibelet ya kwani na kan shokol tatu ma fi fogo salam dema bina di shokol ya kwani
Ana Marif, you guys let me know if there is a volume or not. Sofi wala mafi. Please give me some thumb up or something to let me know if there is if the volume is good or not. Let's see. I'm not too sure. Let me play one more music and please write something on the comment section because last week I had a problem.
Ya Allah, azuma pore tapelete, ya ana kiklebe dia ukiwotu. Arbo ekada pidwa maru. Ya Allah, ita sama ubelede, delina iswako, asade kalatani na karabu, madam tayali, matayali mikore, wala tai kusara. Ya Allah, ita sama ubelede, delina iswako, asade
There is no voice, so you can see.
His voice.
There's actually. Can you open on your Facebook and check if the voice is clear and let me know? Malaysia Jama, I'm trying to figure out if the volume is clear or not. Nobody's giving me any. Genovine, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Genovine? Just write something on the comment section to let me know if the voice. Okay, thank you. Somebody said at least the voice is clear. That's really good news. Assalamu alaikum, Sada Genovine Akram. I'm going to play one more song, then I will start straight from there. Okay, just bear with me a minute. Let me play another song. I'm just doing this because last week or about 10 days ago, I made video about 1 hour and a half, and then finally some people came and told me that there is no voice. I have to delete the whole thing out. So I don't want to go through that again. Playing video and later on there is no volume, then it will force me to delete it out. Otherwise, thank you in advance. Also, if you hear, please make sure you share the video, share to groups or WhatsApp or أي محل اللي انت فيه فوق. Share this video. This video is really important, very important, very, very important. And I wanted many people to listen to it. I'm not gonna go more than an hour. If I pass an hour, it will be maybe 1 hour, 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I have video about 40 minutes long. I'm going to play that video and I will compare it to our situation in South Sudan. But for now, as I said, let me play one more song.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Hallelujah.
I've got nothing more to worry about, oh.
Nothing to worry about at all.
I've got nothing more to worry about.
See, I got nothing else to worry about. Jesus is on my side. Oh.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I've got Jesus Christ on my side. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I've got Jesus Christ on my side. No worry can steal my happiness. I've got Jesus Christ on my side. No disease can steal my health away. I've got Jesus Christ on my side. So let me sing and testify. Oh, Jesus, yeah, my Savior. Polo, yes, yes, I keep up. I yet you keep on the love. For you, I can my young Yelaya. Yes, I am I yet you keep on the love. What my young Yelaya. Yes, I yet you keep on the love. For you, I can my young Raya. Yes, I yet you keep on the love.
shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword? For as many are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. Romans chapter 8, verse 14 and 35. May God bless you. May God bless you.
Yes, 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 Polo, Polo, yes, yes, no people, people, for you, Wachan, Mayam, Yeraya, yes, no, Yamawajan, people, Wachan, Watu, Mayam, Yeraya, yes, Jamawajan, people, for you, Wachan, Mayam, Yeraya, yes, Jamawajan, Polo, Polo, yes, yes, no people, for you, Wachan, Mayam, Yeraya, yes, no, Yamawajan, people, Jawatu, Mayam, Yeraya, yes, Jamawajan, for you, Wachan, Mayam, Yeraya, yes, Jamawajan,
Welcome back. All right. Assalamu alaikum Junubin, masakum khair. It's your host Queen Gune with you. بعد زمن طويل. الأسبوع الفات أنا جيت لكن unfortunately كان في technical problem. يا جماعة الجنوبين ما كلنا ناس بتاع technician, right? Sometimes it's very very hard. لكن نشكر ربنا. I was able to fix it for the last couple of days. So, yeah, I'm here again. ولا كيف؟ إنتوا عاملين شنو؟ أخباركم شنو؟ إن شاء الله كده إنتوا كويسين والحمد لله. من منبر ده أنا let me send condolences. في ناس هنا فقدناهم أيام الفات بطرق مختلف. ربنا يعزي كل أسر اللي عندهم قلوب مكسور. ناس الفقدوا عيال بتاعهم، ناس الفقدوا أبوهات بتاعهم، ناس الفقدوا cousins, nephews, uncles, aunties, name it. The list is long. وبرضو سلام من هنا لناس بتاعنا في مخيمات، في يونيمس، في محلات بتاعت الهجرة، في مناطق بتاع هجرة، في ناس محلهم يعني خيطوا ربنا بكون معهم. So أنا برضو من منبر ده بحييهم وبسأل ربنا يحميهم في محلات الكل هم فوقهم مختلف بصورة مختلفة. و let me أنا خدت green ribbon. I was supposed to wear green, right? لكن unfortunately أنا ما it wasn't intentionally, لكن I decided to put the green ribbon لأنه today is the 9th anniversary for National Salvation Front. It was really I don't know how to describe it, but I just feel delight, you know. National Salvation Front looked like just started yesterday, but today you can hear the 9th anniversary of National Salvation Front. من منبر ده أنا بحيي all our gallant forces في ground، ناس الشغالين شغل، أدى أرواح بتاعهم، أدوا دم بتاعهم، أدوا نفس بتاعهم عشان هم يكونوا في الغابة من أجل الوطن، من أجل الجنوبين، من أجل أمهات بتاعنا، من أجل أبوهات بتاعنا، من أجل السلام في جنوب السودان، من أجل جنوب السودان جديد لكل شعب جنوب السودان 64 قبيلة بلاس. da binadikun heroes. Into ma haja sahel bad ma inna akhadna independent bita Junub Sudan for you to make a decision to go back in bush. Sleep there under the rain, mosquitoes, wild animals, and you name it. تدق رينك في حجر، تدق رينك في خشب مكسور، تعوق نفسك. يعني الأوجاع مستمر، لكن victory is certain. بقى ما بعيد. لما تسمع the 9th anniversary معناته خلاص victory ده بقى ما بعيد. بقى حاجة تاني بس you can even smell it. It start to happen, it start to take place, it start to manifest itself في أرض الواقع. So أنا بشكر الناس الكل صفقوا الدماء في أيام الفاتوا بتاعت في الموفمنت. ربنا يعز أسر بتاعهم، لكن انتم هنا ما حننساكم. انتم فقدتوا أرواح وبذلتوا دماء من أجلنا ومن أجل الوطن. So أنا بقول ذكرى بتاعكم ما حيمشي on vain. We'll keep talking about you and time will come for us to celebrate you in good manners with respect. لأنه حسي البس بيحصل زي ده في السوشيال ميديا is kind of we just wanted to remember you, لكن في يوم من الأيام هيجي نحن هنعمل لكم حاجة المفروض يتعمل لكل جندي ناضل وقدم روح بتاعه من أجل جنوب السودان، عشان جنوب السودان جديد يكون في أرض الواقع ويحمي كل الشعب بتاع الجنوبين، يحمي كل الشعب الجنوبي البرة والداخل الوطن. So برضو من المنبر ده في ناس بس بدقدقوا تليفون يشوفوك لايف يلا يدقوا تليفون، معلش يا جماعة. برضو من المنبر ده زي ما أنا قلت National Salvation Front الديكلاريشن بتاعه كان يوم 6 شهر 3 2017. Today marked as 9 years. وبدأ كان يعني just from scratch, and until today the movement is still standing and is still bright and is even more stronger than before. So تحية خاص ل CNC General Thomas Shirilo وقادس بتاعت movement في National Salvation Front, all my dear compatriots all over the world. برضو أنا بحييكم من منبر ده وبقدم لكم سلام خاص، سلام من قلب، سلام من مكان خاص. برضو لممبرز وناس السيمباتيزرز في National Salvation Front. في ناس yes they sympathize with us, they help us in one way or another, but as you know the word sympathizer sometimes you don't have to announce names. لكن أنا بقول ربنا يكون معكم يقويكم وطول ما انتوا واقفين معنا shoulder to shoulder to continue with this liberation of South Sudan again. ربنا يبارككم، يبارك كل حياتكم، يبارك أسر بتاعكم ويكون معكم كلكم. So yeah, so today زي أنا ذكرت قبل شوية، أنا قلت يا جماعة topic day is very important لأنه أنا جبت فيديو من somewhere. I'm going to play this video and أنت كان في هناك try to analyze this video and try also to compare it in situation in South Sudan, because South Sudan is mentioned in that video and there is a lot in it. I don't want to explain it now عشان ما يكون لك boring. I want you to stick with me here until maybe the end of the video. It's about 40 minutes long زي ما أنا ذكرت، 40 minutes long video. لكن between here and there I will stop the video to explain what do we have in that video, and also for Junub Sudan comparison بتاعه شنو and how things are working between that country and South Sudan. The country is Uganda. لكن let me try to bring my face video for you to see. Maybe many of you have seen that video in YouTube, but for me, I see it like really something that I need to bring it up and explain some of those videos between us as Junubin and see between here, and we see the comparison between South Sudan and Uganda. And also, I want you to know that and ask yourself a question. Who is really ruling South Sudan? Because I don't want to say it, because if I say it, it look like na supposition del kalam katir, na supposition del nasta mashakil, na supposition del bes jinno mi jibu kalam min when ilifi daur. But today it has been said by Ugandans. Nas Ugandese, I don't. Okay, let me just try to bring it up, and we'll go from there. Okay, bit by bit. Please don't matapkhal alena bellaikat bellaf hearts and share the video. Send it to your friends. Let friends come and join us, and let us talk together. That's the main point. Is let us talk. As long as ita ما بتقدر ما حتقدر تجيني فوق ولا ita مثلا busy ما قدر تجي فوق في screen, then you can still chat, put comment and comment section. We'll go from there. Okay, let me bring part one.
So leave that to him to try to cause some trouble, because he knows what will come if he attempts to attack. Iran has a lot of oil, or is connected with different countries with regards to oil. I won't speak into details about that because I can't really say the particular countries right now. But general knowledge is that the Middle East has tons of oil. And so usually when they have instability, oil prices are affected somewhat in different locations where they do send that oil. So Museveni, because he's so broke, the government really has no money, because the embassy. But Museveni believes the gun solves everything. But let's see how that goes. So that military equipment, or the equipments that have been brought to look for Bobby Wine, have been stored in Mbuya barracks, in the military barracks. Any of you who are familiar, it's around Kiswab Golovi area. That's where the barracks is located. So all of that equipment that is supposed to be searching for Bobby Wine, or His Excellency Chagulanyi, are stored in that place. The other thing is that because of what's going on with M23 in Congo, and Rwanda, and Kagame denying that M23 is from Rwanda, now Kagame says it's from Uganda, Museveni feels like things are closing in on him. And so one of the things that he's trying to do, or he wants to do in the next few days,
I hope the voice is clear, guys. Just keep updating me if there is any technical issue with the volume. Let me know immediately, please.
For weeks is to get rid of Jamil Mukulu. As you know, that Jamil Mukulu had been branded a rebel, and he's in the prisons of he's in Luzira in Uganda. So people who are involved in this plan are Frank Baine, Byabashaija, and Museveni. They plan to kill Jamil Mukulu in prison because they believe that if he's caught and he has to talk, he will have a lot to say that will incriminate Museveni and his regime. Museveni and Kagame right now are in the same boat. Everything that links Kagame, for example, the treaty that they made with Congo between Tshisekedi and Kagame in front of the President Trump of the United States, that has fallen through because Kagame lied and Kagame fooled. He thought he fooled the United States. And so it has been tracked down to the fact that M23 is indeed sponsored by Kagame. But recently, or Rwanda, but recently, due to investigations here and there, they've also figured out that Kagame is also linked to Museveni. So then Kagame went and spoke and said, you know what, I misspoke. M23 is actually a rebel group from Uganda. So in efforts to, take off the blame, Kagame is incriminating Museveni and has already incriminated Museveni. And so Museveni lives knowing that even if they attack Kagame, he knows that it's coming for him. He knows that somehow he has been implicated, and so it is just a matter of time before all of this gets on him. So they want to get rid of Jamir Mukulu. He was arrested in 2024 as a rebel group, remember, as part of, I believe, Congo or something like that. But he has been in custody in the prisons in Uganda for a while. So Jamir Mukulu, anybody who knows him, he's on target. He's supposed to be, according to orders from Museveni, arrangements with Biabashaija and Frank Baine, they want to get rid of Jamir Mukulu while in prison in Luzira because they're afraid of him speaking. The other thing, this is funny, but it's true. So, you know how Museveni has been buying off a lot of political prisoners here and there? No, not political prisoners. Opposition like Noop and all those people to try to get them to work with him. Recently, we found out that in as much as he calls them and tries to buy them to get them on his
Okay. With this bit here, you guys have heard this very clear. Museveni and Paul Kagame, del huma yahu creators bita the rebel group al M23 al fi Congo. Okay, now when you guys hear this lady here, Taban Bida, she's supporters of Noob, which is the movement, my movement, group that Hizbal Mu'arid Al-Hassi Amalo election for Uganda, which is under Bobby Wine. So she's speaking from Europe, from outside of the country. Now, when M23, Zema Higarat, M23 that created by those two people, which is Museveni and raised bitat Rwanda, which is Paul Kagame. And the raised bitat neither ma raised juzu bitat nasal alkan umashalo wodom fi movement al fi Congo to go and fight as M23. Fizol minimal who zakar ismu Zolda, they arrested him in 2024 and been put in jail, and the Museveni wanted to eliminate him because Museveni now he's very scared. Anything can happen to him anytime. And who are Madere Khalish, Nasal Arfin Asrar, because they will start talking and selling out the information that those people have between him and those people. Shufta he's trying to eliminate all this group of people. Ayizol, who can allow a mandate to do something which is against humanity, against against human rights and violation. Museveni is eliminating all these leaders out. So he wanted to make sure if anything happened anytime, pushing him out of his position, all these people is gone. That was the information. But let us just continue listen because there is a lot in this video.
Side, you know how they promised them a lot of money, millions of dollars, of shillings, billions of shillings here and there. Museveni has figured out how to keep them on a leash, to continue doing what he has asked them to do, but he's not relinquishing that money to them. So apparently what he's doing with the opposition is when he calls them to, like the Nsibambis, when he calls them to go and meet with him and he promises them a lot of money. What Museveni then does is after the meeting and the agreements and they've signed MOUs and all these things, agreeing to work with him or work for him, Museveni then asks them how much they want and where they want to take it. And because this money is bulky, sometimes they can't just take it in cash to wherever they want to take it, because sometimes Museveni has access to a lot of cash. So even if they do give him cash to take home, they're asked to be escorted by guards. So Museveni will give them some guards to take them home. And as they go, when they go to the banks to go and keep that money, Museveni will send them with an escort who knows how much or which bank they're going to. So when they, let's say, well, what was this recent gentleman? So let's say somebody goes to Museveni to go get some cash, and they've agreed, they've signed MOUs. He sends them with a guard with the money that he has given them to go and deposit in a bank. So every bank is code numbered or code named by the Museveni people. So they'll send him with a security to try to get that money to the bank. When they get to the bank, this code is communicated back to Museveni to say, this person has brought the money and has deposited it in this bank. So what he does is he communicates with those bank officials not to release those funds to them until he says so. So imagine you take cash to a bank, but you don't have access to actual liquid cash. Museveni has become a mafia among these people. They go in, they take their money, they take it to the bank it in their accounts where they usually go and exchange cash or money however they wish. This money becomes held up in that place, and their salaries go in there. So for example, the MPs who work with Museveni, who already have established banking services with a certain institution, when they go to withdraw that money, they can't withdraw anything. All the bankers will say, go back and talk to whoever has sent you, or your account is frozen. So despite the fact that Museveni has already met with them, they've signed, and they're working for Museveni, they don't have access to those funds, plus their salaries are also increasingly frozen. So all of these MPs, NUP or opposition MPs who work for Museveni, they are working on empty, because all the money is frozen and only Museveni can release those funds. So imagine, you know, after all that they're doing, and they can't say no, and because they hope to get that money, they can't stop working for him. They can't say no. The other day, Walusimbi was ordered by Museveni to show up and change to NRM immediately, without saying any.
الكلام ده انت لما تطبق نفس الكلام الحسا بده قاعد يقولوا ده نفس حاجات اللي قاعد يحصل في الجنوب. all oppositions المضوا agreement مع سلفا كير وما مضوا agreement مع سلفا كير، تانيين مشوا بس زي ناس حسين عبد الباقي شال فايل حقه كده وقدموا لسلفا كير. طبعا في جنوب السودان في ناس معينين بيلقوا بدون قروش، وفي ناس اصلا ما بدون قروش. But opposition has been played by Museveni عشان هو لازم الopposition ده يركع لمسيفني ويضم لحزب بتاع مسيفني instead of being opposition. Even those parliamentarians في كامبالا، عشان انت لازم يعني تعمل حاجه هو دايرك انت تعمله، ما تعمل حاجه تانية من برا من راسك. So you sign agreement مع مسيفني، يقول لك انت داير كم عشان تضم له. انت تقوم تقول له مثلا اديني 5 مليون شيلين ولا 10 مليون ولا 20 مليون شيلين whatever it is. They signed agreement deal معه, memorandum of understanding and everything. يقوم he doesn't use قروش bank to bank حسب كلام بده. He use cash. He will give you cash, then he will give you somebody to escort you to the bank. هو يا بشجعك بقول لك خلاص انا بديك driver to take you to the bank. انت تقوم تمشي مع زول driver to the bank، تمشي هناك تاخد قروش. As soon as you put the money, you return the money back to Museveni. That was the statement. As soon as you put the money to the bank, القروش اللي انت بتخطه ده الزول اللي بيمشي معاك اللي هو بديك له عشان to escort you to the bank. طبعا قروش كان كتير بقول لك يا اخي for safety I will give you a driver and somebody to escort you to the bank so you will be in safe side. انت طبعا بتفرح لانه في يدك في 10 مليون شيلين 20 مليون شيلين، خلاص انت بس في ليله في الليله واحده انت بقيت غنيان، بتفرح خلاص، بتمشي مع الزول الجاي يعمل لك سكوتنج، تمشوا البنك، وقعدوا في البنك الزول اللي بيمشي معاك ده قال في كود، في كود سكيورتي كود تقريبا هو بدي للبنك، بعد ما القروش دي تاخده في البنك ويدوا السكيورتي كود ده للبنك اللي انت خدت فوق قروش including your salary، كله بيمشي في حساب ده، لكن you don't have access to withdraw any liquid cash. You don't have any access. انت كان بقيت تعمل جوطه وتقول ده اكاونت بتاعه دير قروشي وما تعرف وكلامات الفارغه كتير، بقول لك امشي للزول الرسم تجي تعمل withdraw money، والزول منو مسيفني and then you don't have any access to مسيفني anymore. وده نفس الحاجه اللي كان حصل في شهور ما شهور في السنه اللي فاتت، انتوا لو مذكرين لما بولميل جا، بولميل عمل دعايه قال يا اخي دايرين يعملوا قروش بيجي يحطوا في حسابات، وناس يكون عندهم بنكات، وناس يكون عندهم اكاونت نمبرز وشنو شنو. الناس لما تمشي في البنك ما في قروش، يقول لك ما هي نزل، ولما تمشي في مع القروش عشان تطلع قروش ما في قروش، وانت ما allowed to withdraw more than 50 شنو South Sudanese pound، يعني حاجه كده معين قروشك، لكن انت you have no access to withdraw that money. You are not even allowed to withdraw that money through the cashier في البنك. شفت كيف؟ ده نفس الحاجه اللي قاعد يحصل عندنا في الجنوب. Let me continue with this.
Arguments, he went and did it anyway because he has them on a leash now. They expect to get this money. The money is held up, and Museveni is going to hold this likely past swearing in, which means these people have to show up to swear in. By all means, they are going to come and stand beside Museveni, hoping to get the money or by MOU, and they know what Museveni is capable of. So when you see our brothers and sisters in the opposition who have started working for Museveni, they're not having it easy. Their funds are frozen, personal funds, plus what Museveni promised them. So, you know, good luck to you people for being traitors, because we're in the same boat, basically. Except you have allegiance to somebody who will not make you sleep. Okay? Next, ammunitions. Museveni is worried that something is going to attack him. He has been very concerned that as much as they're emphasizing Rwanda, he knows that he is next, or he's being lured by all these attempts on Kagame, but they really want him. So, like they say, when you beat a dog, you're looking for the owner. You're waiting for who.
Okay. On this part, Museveni kind of holding everybody hostage in Uganda. You need your money. You have to wait until past the day that he will be sworn in as elected president. He wanted these people to stand behind him, to support him, to give him a visual of kind of he is really elected by these people, and these people loved him, and they wanted him to continue be as the president of Kampala or Uganda. So if you see in South Sudan, we have the same attitude. We have the same behavior from President Salva Kiir. Inta لما دار تجي لسالفا كير ولا دارين يجيبوك لسالفا كير بغشوك زي الناس اللي كان غشوم عندنا هنا في نصاروا باك. سايمون بولدوزر named them نصاروا باك. نصاروا باك وباقي opposition تانين ديل. Okay? لما هم أغروم عشان يجي يضموا لل SPLM party في ruling system بتاعت سالفا كير، أغروم بأنه في ناس بيقولوا لهم بندوك 20,000 بندوك 30,000 بندوك 50,000، لكن في بداية قبل ما أنت تتحرك من محلك بدوك $500 يقول لك يا اخي امشي البس امشي اشتري لك بدله كده كويس وجزمه عشان انت لما توصل المطار بكون في سبيتش. طبعا انت بتفيل important يعني you coming you landing in Juba airport then بعد كده الناس الميكروفونات كله بيجوا جارين كده 2 3 4 نفر 5 يسالوك سؤالين 3 كده بعد كده يشيلوك ودوك في هوتيل ومنه تاني ولا تشوف سلفا كير ولا بتسمع صوته ولا بتسمع ذاته 20,000 ولا مش 20,000 $1,000 زي ما بتسمعه. شفت كيف؟ until لما سلفا كير يعمل لك مانديت يجهز لك مانديت زي ما هو كان جهز لجونسون أولينج. انت مذكرين لما جونسون أولينج ماشي جوبا كان ماشي 7 يوم. من 7 يوم جونسون أولينج قعد سنة عشان هو يشوف سلفا كير وعشان هو ذاته يقابل سلفا كير وعشان هو ذاته يعقد ويدي في الكلام مع سلفا كير. سلفا كير جهز له مانديت انت لازم تمشي تعمل ديساممنت وانت لازم تعمل ده وانت لازم تمشي كده. لا ما بدوك حاجه ده ساكت. حلاوه ما في من غير نار في بيت سلفا كير. شفت كيف؟ so that was the same business سلفا كير قاعد يعمله مسيفني قاعد يعمله بقد مسيفني طبعا قاعد يطبق النظريات بدي تعليمات لكير اعمل ده واعمل ده واعمل ده وكير ما له الا ينفذ وده بيجيب لنا السؤال على اساس انه بعدين ده منو فعلا يا هو قاعد يليد جنوب السودان. let us continue and hear this lady's talk.
He's going to come and say, hey, I'm the owner of this dog. So basically, whatever they're doing to Kagame, Museveni knows that they're looking for him because he has all ties to everything Kagame is doing. Museveni is no different, and the world knows it already. So what Museveni has been doing, he has decided to move all ammunitions from Amras in Uganda, all the Amras where ammunition was stored, especially in the Nakasongola area. He has decided to move everything from those locations because he doesn't trust the UPDF anymore. He doesn't trust the army, even his SFCs, because he believes that anything could happen now. Anyone can be used. Anyone can try to distance themselves from him. Anyone can cause him trouble. So he has built a lot of houses or bought some around Kampala and within the cities. He has decided to empty all of the Amras and bring all of the ammunitions into those different homes. And he has taken SFC soldiers away from barracks and has plotted them in the neighborhood so that they can secure or watch over those ammunition. So in the last, I think a day or so, this has come a little bit late on my part. So a few days ago, some people witnessed load shedding or power shut off along the Nakasongola highway coming from the barracks over there because Museveni shut down power from 8 p.m. because he was moving weapons from the armories to the buildings where he wants to secure them. So many of you those who have lived in those areas, you can tell that there's been power shutoffs consistently from 8 p.m. until morning, purposely because he wants to, in the darkness, move those ammunition and weapons to new locations because he doesn't trust anyone. They've brought in a lot of military, obviously from Rwanda, because they know what's coming at them. And so they feel like they need to protect themselves with people who trust them or people who care about them. So a lot of those ammunitions have been moved into new homes. If you see new builds in your area or buildings, it is because they are trying to shift or move over their security or ammunitions because they believe once they're attacked, they need to have defense from people who care about them. So you will notice a lot of new people in the neighborhoods. They look different, they walk different. Those are SFCs who have been deployed to be around and protect and watch over those ammunitions because he's afraid that if the military turn on him, they'll use it on him. Okay, next here, only top commanders actually know about those weapons, the ones that are being moved around, because he's preparing to spread.
Okay, this explanation is really typical to what we have in South Sudan. A couple of times we have heard that matar bito Juba gal fogo shunu fogo renovation big fulu matar bakta kahraba shufta kef. And this is the same thing. Salva Kiir naman يقول لكم يقطع كهرباء he's doing something. طبعا كهرباء اصلا ما في كتير، لكن في جوبا في جو مطار sometimes قال في طيارات بينزل بالليل وبشغلوا فوقه كشافات الكبار عشان يطلعوا حاجات من طياره، وحتى في طيارات بينزل باوقات مسائيه، لكن حاجات الفوق ما بيطلعوا الا بالليل، بيجيبوا عربات اللي عندهم كشافات بيولعوا كشافات حقهم حتى يعملوا شنو نادا لود اوف الحاجات اللي في الطياره، ما معروف شنو قاعدين يجيبوا. including also last year I believe في شهر 11 ولا شهر 10 كان في ammunition كتير في ويسترن إيكواتوريا ستيت، حاجات دي كله نقوله جابوه في جوبا. وحتى في اتجاه بتاعت يي برضه نسمينا برضه نقوله كان في ناس قدروا يسرقوا صور بعربات لما كان جاي بامينيشن ده. لكن طبعا ده عملوه بالنهار، ما كان بالليل فعلا. deployment بتاعت فورسز لما يكون خاشي في مناطق في محلات تانية بيخشوا sometimes with no uniform، لما بعد ما يخشوا بيجي بيلبسوا يونيفورم. ده كل حاجات undercover قاعدين سلفا كير قاعد يلعبوا for people not to know exactly what is he doing or what is the plan is. So there is similarity في كل حاجات اللي قاعد يحصل.
A whole lot of the battalions away from the military barracks into local communities where he can control. Okay. Buganda region. This is a new one. So the Rwandese community has designated Buganda region as their gain. As you might know, you might have heard that in the place in Rwanda where the memorial or the memorial location where the genocide victims are inscribed on rocks and things like that, the tourist area where the people who go to visit people who suffered or lost their lives during the genocide in Rwanda has an inscription where the Kagame people have linked the loss of lives during the genocide to Buganda in Uganda. Strangely so. You know very well that it's impossible that Ugandans went and attacked Rwandese during the Tutsi and Hutu war in Rwanda, which eventually brought Kagame into power. That 1994-1993 genocide, that was executed amongst themselves. But apparently in the inscription on the rock that is the foundation rock of the memorial in that location, there is an inscription that says, these people, or in memory of those who lost their lives, and this war that was caused by the Buganda from Uganda. It is very strange. It is not true. But I understand that these Rwandese people, especially the ones that are causing a lot of instability in Rwanda, the Kagame people, are teaching their children or sharing with people of Rwandan descent, of those enemy descent, that the people that killed or caused the genocide in Rwanda were Ugandans and they were Buganda. That is not true. So in essence, they have poisoned some people's minds. And that's why you see when these Rwandese people are attacking or hitting or beating Ugandans, they do it mercilessly. Because they have that bad seed that was sown in them, saying that Ugandans or Buganda are the ones who killed them during the genocide. So be warned.
Now Bugandan bita Uganda have been labeled as people who killed the Rwandan during the genocide that took place in Rwanda. They have been labeled like Bugandan, and there is no way that in the whole history that genocide with Rwanda has been known as a fight between Tutsi and Hutu. But now Kagame when قال في محلات بتاع حجر الأساس في محل بتاع memorial في حجارة كتبوا على أساس إنه killing the genocide بتاع Rwandan took place في 1993 1994. It was Bugandan came from Uganda, went and killed Tutsi in Rwanda. See, and also they teaching their young generation now of Buganda is the one committed genocide against the Rwandan. Look at this history. Wasn't that the same history that is happening in South Sudan? It's the same thing. You can hear and you can see people are saying, you kill us in Juba, you kill us in South Sudan, Niger have been killing us, Equatoria have been killing us, like the same thing. And also, last month in February, there is book is circulating in Facebook. I think it was history book. In that book of history of South Sudan, it's senior one. That book is belong to classmate at senior one, history book. In that book, is all against Nuer. The government of South Sudan now is educating the young generation bad and wrong history about Nuer to South Sudanese citizen, young generation that are coming up now. To grow up with bitterness, to grow up with pain, to grow up like seeing Nuer as the first enemy of South Sudan. As Nuer are the one killing Dinkas all over the place, my Equatorians. It's similar. Hajal Kegame Kadiamulu Museveni is similar to what Salva Kiir is doing. And I will continue to remind you who is ruling South Sudan. Because if Salva Kiir wanted to implement the same agenda of Museveni, Al Museveni got the for implementation for Uganda, then we're in big trouble. Honestly, we're in a big trouble.
Watchful of that, and so in essence, what they're resorting to do now,
keep listening,
okay, is that they are trying to take back Buganda, to take away Buganda, to make it part of Rwandi's gain. How are they doing that? Museveni has mobilized a lot of money from abroad to buy Buganda land. Therefore, any Muganda who is going to be able to sell land, and whatever price you ask, they are going to buy it off your hands. The reason why they're buying this land is so that they can take over Buganda region. So my advice, or the advice given to the Buganda community or people living in Buganda, I know that Buganda is richly and generously for everyone. All Ugandans are welcome in Buganda. I grew up in Buganda and I know what that means. You have welcomed everyone from every region. Anybody who has property in that region, please do not sell. Because the reason you're going to be selling is you are selling your soul and everyone who is in your lineage to these Rwandese people. They are coming to take over, not to just buy and settle like good neighbors, like other people have done. So be mindful, be watchful. Anybody who asks for any amount is going to be given that amount, because the Rwandese want to take over that land. And anyone who refuses will be eliminated. Okay? So they have devoted, and they are devout to apply this to try to take over Buganda by all means. Okay? So stand firm and don't sell your land, because they're going to pay whatever price you ask, but don't sell your land. Change is coming, and we will settle freely and happily in our land. Okay? Next is Muhoozi is bringing a new law in Kampala, in Uganda, where he says that people living in Kampala or businesses existing with...
Okay. Hasi fi kalam bita bidda, you guys can see this is happening fi Aradi bita Cholo. You can see it happening fi Western Bahr Ghazal. You can see it happening fi Maban. You can see it happening in Juba. Aradi gadini amulu push the community. They taking land by all means, by force, wala can be gruge, whatever it is. إنت كان سلطان لازم بضغطوك، يضغطوك لازم أنت تدي أراضي، وكان أنت ما تدي أراضي they eliminate you. حاجة ده قاعد يحصل في داخل جوبا ده. شفت كيف؟ وأنت كان خفت من موت، أنت بتفكه تدي الأرض يشيلوا، وأرض ده بيشيلوا ما أرض بسيط، ما حاجة صغير بفدانات. شفت كيف؟ لأنه هم أصلاً جايين بسبيريت بتاع إنه we wanted to take over. That's why they're calling you guys Ugandese. That's why they're calling you Congolese. That's why they're calling you Ethiopians. It's not out of blue. This is نفس حاجة قاعد يحصل في جنوب السودان. People are trying to take over and settle and chase the owners out. نفس حاجة Museveni قاعد يعمل. They came to Uganda. They are Rwandese. Museveni is Rwandese. He came by force. He took over. Now he start to eliminate nas Bugandans. كنتم كله أساكر. يرسلهم في صومالي، يرسلهم في أي دولة فوق حرب، أمشوا موتوا هناك. أرد بتام بيشيلوا. شفت كيف؟ And this is a democratic change. ده حصل قاعد يحصل. وقاعد يحصل في يوغندا by all means، وبعدين انتوا هتسمعوا الكثير، وقاعد يحصل في جنوب السودان نفس الاسلوب. عرض بتشيلوك شالو كيف؟ وناس ديل كان بيشيلوا اراضي بدو بيت، يدوك بيت يقول لك انا دارين واتا، يدوك بيت يقول لك مره لك، وانت تقوم تديم محل عشان هم يقعدوا. مجرد ما تديتهم محل استقبلتم that's it. They're not going anywhere. نملة ده شالو بهذا الاسلوب. باسم على اساس انه في حرب في upper Nile في جنجولة. these people كان يجوا temporary في نملة. جابوا ناس ديل في نملة هسه بقى كاموا 30 سنة. والدخلوا جوبا بقى يشيلوا villages. village بتاع مواطنين بقى قاعدين يشيلوا. those people they don't know nothing. هل اسمه village ولا city ولا whatever it is. المهم جوبا ده هم دارين يشيلوا. كان انتوا دارين ولا انتوا ما دارين. كان بقروش بتفولك قروش. عشان كده انتوا بتسمع بعد مراتهم بيجي بيقول انا داير محل ده، انا داير بيت ده، انا داير نبني محل بيزنس هنا. I wanted to do some luxury hotel here. I wanted to do business place. يعني ده محل بتاع زول، ده بيت بتاع زول. Why do you wanna destroy that person? ما عنده محل تاني يمشي فوقه. They don't care. How many people have been thrown في الشارع by those of NASA Emmanuel Adil? In order for him just to remain in that system, he have to implement agenda بتاع Salva Kiir. شفت كيف؟ Let us continue here. Listen to this.
In Kampala, in the capital, in the city area, they're going to require that you build only flats or storied buildings, like 2, 3, 4-storied buildings only. And if you can't afford that, you should get out of the city. Okay? So this is another way they're going to manipulate people who can't afford, or people who are established. You know, you don't have to build according to what they want. You should build according to what you can afford. But they're going to try to get people out of the city if you can't build more than 2 floors. If not, they'll offer you money and pay you off to leave the land or property. And if you are not able to relinquish, they will try to eliminate you. This is also going to be linked to any buildings that are in or around the city limits, within roadsides or cities where a lot of businesses operate. They're going to require you to pay a special tax, and that is to their benefit. So basically, they're trying to impoverish people who are existing in business activity, doing well, excelling, or struggling somewhat, but have something to do in the city, because they want to take Buganda, especially the capital metropolitan Kampala area, to become a Rwandese gain. Like they said, the project is called Buganda is our gain. Buganda is our gain. So be watchful of that. Museveni invited all TikTokers and YouTubers. Yesterday you saw him. He met with them. Okay. He has given them money to build studios.
سياسة نمرة 2 نفس السياسة في جوبا. بيوت في الشوارع الرئيسية، بيوت في داخل سيتي، مثلا نقول في داخل جوبا لك حياة عمارات، أطلبارا. وانتوا شايفين يومين ديل في السياسات بتاعت الأرض المهروقة، قاعدين يحرقوا بيوت، يحرقوا دكاكين، يحرقوا امبارح كان في حريقة في أجرة في نيكورن. No, hold on. دقيقة واحد. Let me read it for a check on my كان في حريقة امبارح. I don't want to give you wrong infos. كان طبعا هي ايوه كان في حريقة في مونيكي وفي 107. حريقة ده كان في مونيكي وفي 107 ده في احياء. واسبوع الفات كان في حريقة في أطلبارا وفي رجال مافي، وسوق بتاع كاستم حرقو، سوق بتاع كونيو كونيو حرقو، سوق بتاع جومبا حرقو. يعني ده سياسات على اساس انه في ناس دايرين يجي يغيروا شنو البنيان بتاع محلات ديل according to their own objective or their own vision اللي هم شايفينه. لان هم بيشوفوا يعني محل ده في زول بيكون اشتراو وما قدر يطلع محل ده من سياده، لازم هو يجي يعمل الحاجات اللي هم قاعدين يعملوا ده، يحرقوا بيوت، يحرقوا دكاكين، يحرقوا اسواق. بعد كده شنو؟ انتوا شفتوا هسه السوق بتاع كاستم بناو كيف؟ يعني انت ذاتك بتستغرب في short period of time، تستغرب. يقول لك اطلع ودارين المحل ده. حاجات ده كان حصل قبل سنتين، في امهات طردهم من بيوت بتاعهم، في امهات هم بكوا في ميديا هنا بقول قال يا اخي ارد ده ودفن فوقه راجله ودفن فوقه ابوه ودفن فوقه منو. يعني ده ممتلك بتاع الزول ده from 1960s 1950s even. يجيك زول الليله باسم بتاع كابيتال سيتي جوبا يقول بنيان حقك ده ما نافع، وانت كان ما تقدر تبني بنيان بتاعت مودرن بيلدينج بتاع حسي اطلع من محله. ده نفس الاسلوب مش يا حسب انت قاعد يقولوا، ده نفس الحاجه اللي حصل السنه اللي فات والسنه اللي قبل الفات في جوبا. في كم امهات طردهم، في كم ناس جابوا جريدرات لزوا بيوتهم تحت. نفس الاسلوب، نفس المعامله، ونفس الطريقه بتاعت occupying land بتاع ناس. Let me play it.
And it's also going to give them a license to operate. These YouTubers and TikTokers are going to be given instructions on what they'll be speaking about, or areas of concentration, such as his swearing-in ceremony, which he wants to make really big. The speakership race, that's also something that these YouTubers, you saw the Kasukus at State House and a few others. Unfortunately, our youth still some of our youth still don't know who they are or what they are. You know, it is sad to watch that a foreigner who is not Ugandan is giving us a piece of Uganda, and the Kasukus don't realize that they can gain all these things on their own. So I listened to one of the young men who was in the audience and spoke to Museveni, who said that he had a degree in, is it mechanical engineering or something like that, but he has now become a YouTuber and he has to be bought by pennies here and there just to make him feel valid. You know, I wish we knew who we are so we could fight for what we have or what belongs to us rightfully. So Museveni is going to be using these people a lot to try to get, obviously, media attention away from His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. That's his biggest idea. His biggest challenge has been diverting the media to talk about something else, or social media to talk about something else other than His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. But all in vain, because in as much as these people can go and meet with Museveni and talk to him about whatever he wants of interest at that time, I think Ugandans are awake enough that they can't defy what their heart is telling them or wanting. Okay, so I have faith that even if they go and, you know, he's convincing them to do this, that, or the other, most of us, most Ugandans, most youth, oh, Katongole, yes, I think he said biomedical engineering. That was a really sad truth that I heard from this one of the gentlemen who went to visit Museveni with the Kasukus. You know, it is absurd, but sometimes we learn the hard way. So, you know, we'll see how far that goes. But in efforts, we're going to continue fighting to try to get our Uganda back from these people. Okay, so these TikTokers went and they were promised 5 billion shillings. Museveni promised to give them, but as I mentioned earlier, when Museveni gives these people this money, even if he promises.
Okay. انت لما تشوف طريقة بتاعت controlling the social media. Museveni is trying to control the social media because nowadays social media in Uganda is only talking about Bobby Wine. And for him to manipulate people's mind, to stop talking about Bobby Wine, and the focus have to be shifted towards him. He wanted to come up with Yom Bitao Bitat swearing in. He wanted to invite all the social media people, and also he called all the TikTokers and Nas Bitat YouTubers to come and control them, and he promised them money. You know, Damaya I radio gadina mulo control for Juba. Michael Mokoy Namankan, Minister of Information. Michael Mokoy is in daily basis fighting with iRadio. You know, he wanted iRadio to be registered under government. Like in Dahaji independent. You know, he fought these people. Kulium Jamade Amulelan, Bache Yam Zahubara, apologize le Michael Mokoy. Bache Jamade Hoto Haji Fo Kirada, Michael Mokoy Bamul Duhut, Biamulu delete. They have to apologize publicly, le Michael Mokoy. And also, he have the same problem with Radio Miraya. You know, Radio Miraya, Radio Bakhita. Yeah, he's pushing these people. Now, when you see these three radios, they never speak the truth. They never bring out pain with the Junubin. They never come out and put something that government are not giving them permission to do. The only radio that يكلم حاجات بتاع الجنوبين بيجيب حاجات الجنوبين برا ده تمازج. لكن اي راديو مرايا بخيتا ثلاثة رواديو ده no. You cannot pass through كلام بتاع حكومة. Although they have their own media, SSBC, but they trying to control these radios. Now they also jumping to the level controlling the communities. Ayizol. You kill him Kalamat Farek, they will be arrested. They passed some cyber security a couple of weeks back. Barnamij bitaw it has been passed in Ajara fi Barlama. Ayizol بكتب كلام ما كويس وبكتب كلام ضد الحكومة. يمكن محلك وشفت مش blue house والله تكون في dark house, black house. ده نفس الأسلوب.
Those funds do not get disbursed unless Museveni says so. Many of them are working for free. There are people who I know who were promised by Museveni to get a lot of money, and it's been years that they haven't gotten it. So no matter what they do, this is, you know, these are just promises, and it doesn't mean that it's going to change their lives. These people are also going to be given different projects. Like I said, they're going to be covering the speakership race, the swearing in of Museveni, and they're going to be demeaning NUP and all of its party activities. You know, as you know, Museveni's biggest job right now is to try to make Bobby Wine look less valuable before us, which is impossible, almost impossible to do, but he's trying. Good luck to him. Next, Museveni Muhoozi Damulida.
Okay, that part one has ended, but I will bring part two because the video is too long. When I recorded it, I have to divide it into small pieces in order for me to be able to share it and bring it up for you guys. Otherwise, I won't be able to. Let me bring Pado.
Good for Ugandans. So my advice to happening, just be careful, because it doesn't mean that it is happening for sure. It's not in favor of Ugandans at all. Okay? Oh, the big elephant in the room. Iran. The war in Iran has shaken Museveni more than anything else, if anything has ever shaken this man. Museveni knows that between him and Ayatollah, the former president of Iran, he was next in line. Ayatollah died, I believe, at about 86 years old, and Museveni claims he's 83 years old, although I believe he's older than that, but let's give him 83 or whatever he calls himself. When the attacks began on Iraq, Museveni was on the phone constantly trying to find out if for sure the supreme leader of Iran had been killed. He kept calling China and Putin to find out if it's true, and he thought that the war would last at least 6 months to a year, so that it takes the media or attention away from him. Because as you know, Bobby Wine is in the EU, he's in the US, he's everywhere. He's on media, all kinds of media, international stage. It's all about His Excellency Chagulani Sentamu and sanctions and this, that, and the other. So Museveni was hoping that this war would last at least 6 months to a year. But to his surprise, China and Russia both confirmed that the supreme leader of Iran, had been killed in the strikes. So he was also disappointed that Russia and China did not swoop in to help, because he thought that since they all have a pact or have a relationship or similar way of ruling, that his two friends would come in, Russia and China, to try to rescue Iran. But that did not happen. So Museveni and his family, they regret heavily having not changed government or changed presidents, even if he could have given his something of a son or a different person, maybe Mao or whatever the case may be. They deeply regret having not changed governance, because they believe if they had changed the president of Uganda and they were still working underneath, things wouldn't be as bad as they are now. But it's too late, and Museveni knows his time is up and it's time to go. He has also said that if ever, which he knows, he says that he's next after Ayatollah. He says that if the US turns their ammunitions towards him, they could clear him and his family in about a minute. So he has called all the leaders, all of the Rwandese movements all over the world, all of them, and informed them that he's terrified and that things are not looking good in Uganda, and they need to start looking for solutions and other avenues, because he cannot foresee them surviving this one after Ayatollah was taken out this way. He does not sleep at night. In fact, he has his jet pilots.
انتوا شفتوا الخوف والرجفة وين؟ قالوا الكلمة كلب بهبل لخناقه. يعني حسي مسيفني ما خاف إلا بعد ما أيوتالله لمن ضربوا إيران والزول ده باح فوقه. قال يا أخي مسيفني ده ما نام، ما قاعد ينوم. والله زول لما قاعد ينوم، قاعد في التليفونات بيضرب للرئيس ده وبيضرب للرئيس ده وبيضرب لإسرائيل وبيضرب لناس منو. He's trying to figure out how information there true or not true, because he knows he's next online. لأنه نمن الرئيس بتاع رواندا نمن عملوا لهم ناس روانديس نمن عملوا لهم sanction last week، بول كيغامي و4 من جنرالات كبار في الجيش في مثال بقول انت لما مثلا في زول لما يدوق جناك معناته قاعد يفتش امه ولا ابوه، لان انت ام ولا ابوه انت حتجي جاري اللي دقت جناي ده جناي دقته اللي ولا مثلا كلب، زول لما يضرب كلب بتاعك he's looking for the owner, right? That's exactly what it is. يعني Paul Kagame لما اخذ السانكشن Museveni knew that he's gonna be part of this thing and he's coming after him and it's time for him to be dealt with. That ما حاجة تاني بعيد. He knows that exactly and he knows what they cooked مع Paul Kagame. شفت كيف؟ He knows exactly what they cooked because those two leaders are the worst leaders بتاع East Africa. The worst leaders of East Africa. Destroyed the whole Congo and now they destroyed South Sudan and they still wanted to destroy other countries. You know?
His jet pilots sleep in the jets these days, in the airplanes, because he knows anytime he's next. And as good as the US was able to target the president of Iran, or the supreme leader of Iran, he's sure that he's constantly being surveilled by whoever is going to attack him next, which he actually believes he's next in line, which is true, you know, because among the dictators and everything that's happening all over the world, it looks like it's time for a big shakeup for things to change. So he's worried about that. Despite his doctors telling him to relax and not be tense and worried, he's definitely worried and his health is getting worse. He has also debated relaxing the policies that harden Ugandans' lives. For example, the policies that he has enacted with the dam leaders and the people of the ghetto who are the ghetto groups that are being used by the dam leaders to cause insecurity in Kampala. He has asked them to stand down and do less to try to not keep Ugandans on constantly hating them or hating him. So he wants them to reduce on the pressure on Ugandans, hoping that things don't escalate or make things worse for him. Museveni hopes that he can still get back in the hearts of Ugandans like they used to love him. But I think those days are gone, honestly. I believe those days are gone. Next thing, Museveni plans on giving himself a really big award because he's looking for legitimacy. He wants to look right. So what he's planning to do is he wants to stage an awards ceremony somewhere outside of Uganda in another country where he will invite different country leaders or presidents to go to that country and watch.
Okay. ده طبعا
So all of these attributes point to the fact.
طبعا ده حاجة اللي قاعد يحصل في الجنوب. انتوا كان قاعدين تشوفوا كلام بتاع مسيفني. انت ما win election. You rigged the election in the first place. Now you're killing the Ugandans. Shooting all over the place, killing, arrest. People have been arrested even from within his parliament. Finas Tagalom, Finas Kotolom. Those are his own supporters. Nasal indum informations about what had happened during period of time of Museveni being a president. Finas Raho, fi Denas Tanin, fi Parliament, and he have to go and eliminate these people for this secret to disappear. Okay? So Hajat Dukulu, Museveni biga maga dinum, he knows himself he's next online. Zema Paul Kagame have been put now down to rest. Or Khatotehid Filabu, Museveni will be put also the same way. And this useless of ours is gonna be afterward. It's not gonna be a bait min Museveni. شفت كيف؟ those two criminals or the three criminals with the East Africa countries, you can see the way how they do things together. Museveni is the one cooking the meal, dividing some to Paul Kagame and some is here to President Salva Kiir. In order for him, he's the only beneficiary from our resources, from Congo resources. Because Paul Kagame have sold him out by telling the international community that the M23 is then Uganda, then as bitat Museveni. That means there is another alga. زي ما بيقولوا في alga تاني جايو ما حيمشي بعيد منه مهما كانت. So I don't know if I finished this one or okay, this is part 2. Let me bring part 3.
Elect of Uganda. You must remember that many different dignitaries and presidents are distancing themselves from Museveni because of fear of being associated by what Museveni is being called now, which is the truth: a dictator, a human rights violator, and all those things. So he's afraid of that, and so he wants to award himself something like that and have the media shifted from His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu to Museveni of Uganda. Okay, crazy, but okay. He wants a photo with different presidents and dignitaries of other countries so that he looks right, like he is being supported. Okay, Muhoozi is, as you might know, his reputation in his family is not that great, obviously because of the tweets and how he's behaved recently. Not recently, always. So none of them.
Let me take this a little one before Muhoozi's case. The برنامج المسافن جاي يقوم في يومين القدام ده قبل ما هو يحلف قسم ولا to go and swear in. في هو داير يعمل برنامج على اساس انه he wanted to call all the some of the African leaders to come and attend ceremony. وبرنامج ده هو نفسه ذاته هو قايم به. He wanted to award himself through someone that he have communication with, and that's gonna be maybe our useless one, or maybe that one is, what is her name? Samia Suluhu. Those are the three dictators, Arba dictators with East Africans. So maybe Samia Suluhu, maybe Paul Kagame, or whoever it is, to give him that big award of him being a peace makers for East Africa countries. يعني هو داري يبي نفسه عشان يرضي ناس African community، عشان يرضي ناس Westerners, because now image بتاعه بيجا كعب. Image بتاع Museveni now I have been looked as a dictator, killer, terrorist, and all these type of bad names. And for him to clean it up, or to make sure he wanted to gain back the heart of Westerners, he have to come with this fake propaganda of في مناسبة في واحد من الدول, but that program will be hosted by him, including the award that he's going to get. He's going to be as African Union, definitely they will be there. As C5 group, definitely they're going to be there, because those leaders, those dictators, they protect themselves more than the liberators. Those dictators of Africa, they protect themselves more than the liberators themselves. You know, whatever بيحصل لما سبب انت بتاع المجرمين دول كله بيلموا بيصلحوا بيغطوا بينظفوا السمه زي ده بخطوط تحت لسلفا كير. Who will think one day Salva Kiir is going to be East Africa Community Chairman? هو هيقدم شنو اصلا؟ هيقول شنو ذاته ولا قال شنو في period اللي كان هو قاعد هناك سنه ده؟ هو عمل شنو جديد ولا قدم شنو جديد لأفريكا community? Nothing. In fact, he sold all our land. Our borders that with Congo, with the Uganda, with Kenya, aradida daman bitaw mafi illa nasi shakulu foko tani min jadid. That's the best thing that Salva Kiir have done to award these leaders bothering us. He sold out our land to these people in order for him to be protected by those criminals to continue sit on the position with Salva Kiir. Salva Kiir ما قدم حاجة، قاعد هناك 12 شهر ما جاب أي تغيير للجنوب، ما جاب أي development للجنوب. ده حقيقة ولازم يتقال، وده حاجة الحس مسافني قاعد يعمل ده نفس حاجة سلفا كير قاعد يعمله. بيعمل مناسبات morning breakfast just to gain the trust بتاع ناس African مش African ناس تريكا ناس UN ناس دول البرة ديل ناس westerners. morning breakfast يعزم فوق خواجات ده كم مليون فات، 4 مليون فات 8 مليون فات بس breakfast. ده اللانش ما دخل، دينا ذاته ما دخل. وناس مواطنين جعانين سنتين، ناس ما صرفوا مهية، في إيال ما عندهم scholarship ما قادرين يمشوا مدارس. ليه؟ سلفا كير داري شفتها داري يعني يبرر موقف بتاعه لناس ويسترنز ديل. I'm going to take this serious this time. I'm going to implement the agreement. I'm here for peace. I will never go back to war. This nonsense slogan بتاعه ده. Every time he say that, the next day there is a war. Okay, let us continue.
Is willing to recognize or try to attempt to get him to be president as they had planned originally. So they're trying to front Natasha. I don't know if anybody might have seen a post that came out yesterday where there's a picture of Natasha on a poster which says that a woman president for the first time in Uganda, something like that. It is because they're trying to front Natasha now instead, because Muhoozi has muddied the waters, especially internationally, with his tweets and his communications and his accepting or admitting to certain crimes, like saying statements like, we've only killed 22 of the opposition people. We would like to do more, and statements like that, and wanting to behead Bobby Wine, things like that become a admission of crime or guilt in the international community, especially when he's trying to fit into his father's shoes. So we won't be seeing Muhoozi for a while, also because I will come back later. I have something else to talk about that, but he's out of the public eye because of something personal that I will be talking about in a few minutes here. Continuing with the Iran war, or the recent happenings in Iran, Museveni has called presidents of Sudan, Rwanda, Kenya, and Tanzania to talk with them about oil prices. So because Iran is at war, Iran has a lot of oil, or is connected with different countries with regards to oil. I won't speak into details about that because I can't really say the particular countries right now. But general knowledge is that the Middle East has tons of oil. And so usually when they have the instability, oil prices are affected somewhat in different locations where they do send that oil. So Museveni, because he's so broke, the government really has no money, because Museveni depended on foreign income or foreign aid a lot. Since the time President Trump cut aid to Uganda, the LGBT aid and US aid and all the other aids that were coming to Uganda, plus all the concocted reasons Museveni was getting aid or getting loans from places or banks like the IMF, International Monetary Fund, or the World Bank. But with a bad name now, he can't get those monies. So Museveni is broke. He has no idea how he's going to run the government. Mind you, they're stashing away money for their future because they know that their future may not be in Uganda. So he has called the presidents of Sudan, Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania. The reason why Sudan is called is because Museveni literally runs the government of Sudan. Okay? Salva Kiir is there not because award himself something like that and have the media shifted from His Excellency Chagulanyi Sentamu to
Okay, I think Anna generated share.
It is because they're trying to front Natasha now instead, because Muhoozi has muddied the waters, especially internationally, with his tweets and his communications and his accepting or admitting to certain crimes, like saying statements like, we've only killed 22 of the opposition people, we would like to do more, and statements. So that with continuing with the Iran war or the recent happenings in Iran, Museveni has called with regards to oil. I won't speak into details about that because I can't really say the particular countries right now. But general knowledge is that the Middle East has tons of oil. And so usually when they have the instability, oil prices are affected somewhat in different locations where they do send that oil. So Museveni, because he's so broke, the government President Trump cut aid to Uganda, the LGBT aid and US aid and all the other aids that were coming to Uganda, plus all the concocted reasons Museveni was getting aid or getting loans from places or banks like the IMF, International Monetary Fund, or the World Bank. But with a bad name now, he can't get those monies. So Museveni is broke. He doesn't know, he has no idea how he's going to run the government. Mind you, they're stashing away money for their future because they know that their future may not be in Uganda. So he has called the presidents of Sudan, Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania. The reason why Sudan is called is because Museveni literally runs the government of Sudan.
اوكي لحد هنا انتوا سمعتوا كلامنا النظيف. مسافني مما بدأ حركات حقه ده طبعا UN قطع UN 8 من سنة I think سنة قبل الفات 2024 I remember they cut some of his funding بتاعت aid اللي كان قاعد يجي في Uganda because he's surviving and depending only في حاجات بتاع ناس. Museveni have nothing really حاجة تاني كده قاعد tangible في Uganda. البتاع Uganda قالوا بيsurvive فوقه ولا مثلا اللي بيقولوا قال ده حاجة اليوغنديين قاعدين يستفيدوا منه. حاجات حقه كله جاي من برا. ده resources بتاع كونغو. Some other minerals. The same thing في جنوب السودان. Plus the UN aid nas قروش لوكا دي طلعوا من IMF International Money Fund كله محلات ديل دي كله حاجات المسافني قاعد يستفيد منه. Now بعد ما election بتاعت يوم 15 January 2026 the whole world know that Museveni did not win that election, and also there is a proof tala beno we ama win. You are not bitata European Union, as international community, some of the African country did not recognize that election bitat Museveni. So that will make him also more broke. Lano iktisad bitata Uganda at the moment is going to fall down. Plus the sanction al-hasal fi le Rwanda بمعنى هم ما حيلقوا تاني فوائد اللي هم قاعدين يلقوا من كونغو because Donald Trump make it really loud and clear بأنه those forces بتاعت M23 they have to leave Congo with immediate effect that day الكلام ده طالع فوق بتاع sanction ده. So now Museveni have to look for another alternative which is going to be South Sudan. Okay, another alternative is going to be South Sudan. Museveni is going to make sure he milk South Sudan to the core. شفت كيف؟ ده حاجة انتوا هتيجي تسمعوا بعدين في النهايات بتاع الفيديو ده. شفت كيف؟ لما نجيب part 5 you guys will see that, you will hear that. oil بتاع جنوب السودان، ذهب بتاع جنوب السودان، Museveni has been taking our resources من زمان قرن، من 1983 1982 لحد وصلنا في 1984 لحد liberation بتاع جنوب السودان، لحد قرن مات. now is Salva Kiir, and you will hear بعد شوية في واحد من الريكوردينج ديل في tunnel عملوا they dug tunnel from Uganda all the way to Juba to South Sudan. They dug tunnel underground to steal our resources from South Sudan to Juba, from South Sudan to Kampala. Okay? Keep listening. Haramiyad. Where am I?
Sudan. Okay? Salva Kiir is there not because he's a good president or can manage the affairs of Sudan. Museveni does control Sudan. I learned something today.
Please share, Jama. Share. I'm in
that
like.
has been dug at Karuma Falls. Goes through Karuma area all the way to Sudan. And that tunnel is to bring in Sudan oil imports and things that he doesn't want to bring on the road into Uganda. So this goes to show you why the president of Sudan is still there and stands there, and Ugandan military guard Sudan and the activities and affairs of Sudan. I understand the entourage of the president or the bodyguards of President Salva Kiir. Some of them are Ugandan and Rwandese, obviously because of the benefits like these. So that tunnel is from Karuma or Uganda all the way to Sudan, and that's how they get the oil from Sudan into Uganda. So we have lots of oil reserves. There's lots of oil in Uganda. Amoro has a lot of oil. Bunyoro has tons of oil. Apa has a lot of oil. So the efforts to try to cause oil prices to rise, which is the agreement that Museveni has made with the Sudanese, Rwandese, Kenyan, Tanzanian presidents, is that they all increase oil prices at once with a claim that the war in Iran is causing that price hike. But it doesn't make sense because Uganda does not get oil from Iran. Okay? We have enough oil in the region that we don't need.
All right. Itu simitu kalam bita oil, sir. She mentioned there is a tunnel have been dug from area called Karuma in Uganda. From Karuma all the way to where? To South Sudan. To smuggle our resources. To smuggle our resources from South Sudan to Kampala. And then from there, it will be sold somewhere through Uganda. Ujurubin gadin ma arfin gali fi tunnel tani hafaro from Karuma all the way to South Sudan to smuggle our resources. Ugurush magadi jizatu le junubin. People are struggling to live life. People are struggling to eat 1 meal a day. Dahab from Koboita, from area bitata KGKG, from Western Equatoria, from Lobonok. Also, from Kafia Kinji, Hajar Nehas, or Hufra Nehas. All these areas have minerals and have been smuggled through that tunnel from Juba or from South Sudan to Uganda. And now, Umbare ana shufta fi social media, people start to complain the oil price jumped up in Juba. The nafsi kalama bidde galu video do wa amala Umbare. Video hagura awal Umbare betarik betahena. And already yesterday I can see all in social media, but this fighting with the Middle East problem with the Iran. Now Junubin start to complain about the oil price jumped up for Uganda. People also start to complain because Museveni is keep advising these people of what to do. Ashan humo kullum yukunu fi the same picture. You know how criminal work, Yama? Museveni. Okay.
Somebody will give him the award, but it's to him giving himself an award for being a peacekeeper in the region. Crazy, but true. Only because he wants other presidents to recognize him as the president of Uganda or the president-elect of Uganda. You must remember that many, many different dignitaries and presidents are distancing themselves.
I have to bring part
things worse for him.
Part
Museveni
4.
hopes that he can still get back in the hearts of Ugandans like they used to love him. But I think those days are gone, honestly. I believe those days are gone. Next thing, Museveni plans on giving himself a really big award because he's looking for legitimacy. He wants to look right. So what he's planning to do is he wants to stage an awards ceremony somewhere outside of Uganda in another country where he will invite different country leaders or presidents to go to that country and watch him receive this award that he's going to give himself. Okay? So it's funny. Museveni is going to get an awards ceremony together, organized by him, for him, given to him by somebody in a foreign country because he wants a photo op, an opportunity where he will be awarded he'll be awarded something to show his military strength or contribution or peace management in the region. Okay? You know how the US and other foreign countries used to celebrate Museveni so much for peacekeeping in Somalia, in the Central Africa, in Congo, and all these areas, not knowing that Museveni himself was the causer of all these atrocities. So now it's time for him to continue his fake legitimacy. This time he's going to send invitations to different presidents or different leaders of different countries to come to a certain country in Africa. I'm not saying East, it could be anywhere. He's going to invite people to this function, presidents, so that they come and witness him giving himself, somebody will give him the award, but it's to him giving himself an award for being a peacekeeper in the region. Crazy, but true. Only because he wants other presidents to recognize him as the president of Uganda or the president-elect of Uganda. You must remember that many, many different dignitaries and presidents are distancing themselves from Museveni because of fear of being associated by what Museveni is being called now, which is the truth: a dictator, a human rights violator, and all those things. So he's afraid of that, and so he wants to award himself something like that and have the media shifted from His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu to Museveni of Uganda. Okay? Crazy, but okay. He wants a photo with different presidents and dignitaries of other countries so that he looks right, like he is being supported. Okay? Muhoozi is, as you might know, his reputation in his family is not that great. Obviously, because of the tweets and how he's behaved recently. Not recently, always. So none of them is willing to recognize or try to attempt to get him to be president as they had planned originally. So they're trying to front Natasha. I don't know if anybody might have seen a post that came out yesterday where there's a picture of Natasha on a poster which says that woman president for the first time in Uganda, something like that. It is because they're trying to front Natasha now instead, because Muhoozi has muddied the waters, especially internationally, with his tweets and his communications. And
طبعا هنا انتوا سميتوا البات ده قبل هو داري هم هسي دارين يلعبوا جيم على اساس انه how to bring somebody، لانه كان في فترة السنة اللي فات بالذات يعني 2025 سمينا كتير بانه he was grooming his son Muhoozi to become a president to replace him. Possibility كان high after this election. لو كان election ده ماشي بطريقة زي كل مرة هو قاعد يريك election يلا مشاكل ما قاعد يقوم، then he will hand it over to Muhoozi. But now after this election people exposed him, and the winner of the election has become really popular في Western world، في UK، في European Union، في محلات الكبار كبار. He's become really popular, and also Bobby Wine has been awarded 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Museveni شاف حاجة is very bad bigger to give it to Muhoozi، لأنه Muhoozi كمان attitude بتاعه كان في Twitter. Everybody have seen that he's threatening people left and right, and also threatened to to behead Bobby Wine, and also he sent people to Bobby Wine's house, assaulted his wife, stripping her naked and taking photo and send it to social media. And also there is another Twitter that he said yes, they killed about many of the Noob group, which is ده طبعا الحزب بتاعت Bobby Wine يا بنادون as Noob ده. He killed many of those Noob, and he still wanted to do more. That alone is admission of dictatorship and crime against humanity, you know. So that alone is sorry, that alone admission of him being a chief of his staff, admitting such crimes on social media, on which social media circuit for X space that for world leaders that make them who chief of his staff plus his father Museveni are criminal and dictators and violating human rights by killing citizens, killing the opposition that are not even holding guns against him. So now Museveni, they totally trying to shift from Muhoozi and take the Natasha, as according to this lady here. Natasha now have been brought up in like in public. Benu is going to be a first time female president in Uganda, because now Museveni is seeing like that's the only option. He want to, they wanted to bring somebody that have no records, namanano gadugu record, bad record. Lano image bita Museveni now is really bad, including his son and possibility also his brother al-askari that I can't remember his name, Salim Saleh, his brother. So all these people now have bad reputation and is not going to be recognized. Can hujab wahed min nasdel, the international community will never recognize them. So they have to decide to bring leave Ugandan alone. I will leave Ugandan alone when Museveni leave us alone. Okay, so, Brother John, I will leave Uganda alone when Museveni leaves South Sudan alone. He have to take his forces out of South Sudan. We are struggling to leave. We've been targeted and killed by Museveni. Museveni sent his gunship. He came and bombarded communities in the middle of the night. And you want us to leave Uganda alone? Tell Museveni to take the forces out of Juba, of South Sudan. Then we will leave Uganda alone, okay? So this is what happened. At the end of the day, we all brothers and sisters. Can East Africa community or East Africa countries like Uganda, Kenya, Congo, and all these countries bothering us, we all one. But again, for someone to come and intervene in our own sovereignty, that's wrong. We are independent countries. Museveni shouldn't be coming to South Sudan and deploying his forces all the time, looting our resources 24/7, our minerals, our gold, our diamonds, our oil. Is all built Uganda with our resources, and yet our people are hungry. Bringing South Sudan, Ugandan forces to Juba or to South Sudan, paying them $100 a day, and yet our forces in South Sudan cannot even get $6 a month. And you want to tell me that you leave Uganda to Ugandan? So we're all brothers, but we have to talk the truth. We have to speak the truth. Otherwise, that's not something that people should just come and say here.
His accepting or admitting to certain crimes, like saying statements like, we've only killed 22 of the opposition people, we would like to do more, and statements like that, and wanting to behead Bobby Wine, things like that become a admission of crime or guilt in the international community, especially when he's trying to fit into his father's shoes. So we won't be seeing Muhoozi for a while, also because I will come back later. I have something else to talk about that, but he's out of the public eye because of something personal that I will be talking about in a few minutes here. Continuing with the Iran war, or the recent happenings in Iran, Museveni has called presidents of Sudan, Rwanda, Kenya, and Tanzania to talk with them about oil prices. So because Iran...
Okay. لحد هنا كلام البيت ده clear. لأنه أسا Museveni have been eliminated out of the public eyes at the moment because of his useless and reckless Twitter. All the time he's trying to also to threaten the US. Who are you to threaten US? And you have US the embassy in your own country, So it's just useless.
Iran has...
So let me bring the last video, which is part 5.
Has a lot of oil, or is connected with different countries with regards to oil. I won't speak into details about that because I can't really say the particular countries right now. But general knowledge is that the Middle East has tons of oil. And so usually when they have instability, oil prices are affected somewhat in different locations where they do send that oil. So Museveni, because he's so broke, the government really has no money, because Museveni depended on foreign income or foreign aid a lot. Since the time President Trump cut aid to Uganda, the LGBT aid and US aid and all the other aids that were coming to Uganda, plus all the concocted reasons Museveni was getting aid or getting loans from places or banks like the IMF, International Monetary Fund, or the World Bank. But with a bad name now, he can't get those monies. So Museveni is broke. He doesn't know, he has no idea how he's going to run the government. Mind you, they're stashing away money for their future because they know that their future may not be in Uganda. So he has called the presidents of Sudan, Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania. The reason why Sudan is called is because Museveni literally runs the government of Sudan. Okay? Salva Kiir is there not because he's a good president or can manage the affairs of Sudan. Museveni does control Sudan. I learned something today, that there is a... I
just want to correct this name. She means South Sudan, because when she said Museveni have called the president of Sudan. Now, later on, she will explain the president of Sudan. She will call the name is Salva Kiir Mayardit. So that means it's not Sudan, the old Sudan, but she mean this. She mean our country, South Sudan. That's whereby I brought this video to play it up for you guys to know exactly what is going on around.
Tunnel that has been dug at Karuma Falls goes through Karuma area all the way to Sudan. And that tunnel is to bring in Sudan oil imports and things that he doesn't want to bring on the road into Uganda. So this goes to show you why the president of Sudan is still there and stands there, and Ugandan military guard Sudan and the activities and affairs of Sudan. I understand the entourage of the president or the bodyguards of President Salva Kiir. Some of them are Ugandan and Rwandese, obviously because of the benefits like these. So that tunnel is from Karuma or Uganda all the way to Sudan, and that's how they get the oil from Sudan into Uganda. So we have lots of oil reserves. There's lots of oil in Uganda. Amoro has a lot of oil. Bunyoro has tons of oil. Apa has a lot of oil. So the efforts to try to cause oil prices to rise, which is the agreement that Museveni has made with the Sudanese, Rwandese, Kenyan, Tanzanian presidents, is that they all increase oil prices at once with a claim that the war in Iran is causing that price hike. But it doesn't make sense because Uganda does not get oil from Iran. Okay? We have enough oil in the region that we don't need oil from Iran, that even if there are interruptions in Iran, it should not affect Uganda as a country or the East African region, because there's enough oil in those regions. If anything, we have reserves.
Okay, now you guys have heard that very clear and loud, doesn't need an explanation. And come and answer my question now. Who is leading South Sudan? Is it Museveni or Salva Kiir Mayardit? Because nas kan jefi hagiga, Museveni cannot come and rule us in our own countries and tell us what to do and bring his forces here to protect dictator Salva Kiir, continue torturing civilians and citizens, arresting people, killing people, neither hiring a gunship from Kampala to come and bombard people in South Sudan, and also Ugandan forces in our own land, torturing our people, killing our people, doing things that shouldn't be doing in our own land. We are not Congo, and we are not Ugandan. We are not Ugandese. Museveni this year will end up with him, and we supporting this call of international community. We wanted Museveni to be sanctioned as soon as possible, including Salva Kiir Mayardit. Both of them are dictators, are killers, mafias. They don't have mercy to their own citizens. Previously, Museveni was being looked in the eye of international community like General Mudallal Bugulo shouldn't be English zato. I don't even know. You know, the child that is being spoiled by international community. The child that have been looked after by the Westerners. But he messed up that by loving money, dictating people, And not only in his country, he went all over the place. He went outside his country to go and dictate people in Congo, to go and dictate people in Rwanda himself, to go and dictate people in South Sudan. And even in Sudan previously, he tried, but he couldn't because of Omar al-Bashir. This needs to stop. And for this to stop, we as South Sudanese citizens, we need to stand up and tell Museveni to leave our country. We need to stand up and tell Museveni the truth. He needs to leave our country, and he need to leave useless President Salva Kiir that sits on our position. He needs to leave that man alone. We wanted to remove that man out. That useless president called Salva Kiir. Because he has empty head. He cannot lead that country. You cannot be a man in your own family house and another man will come from his own house to come and give you an order. For you, in order for you how to rule your family, how to rule your wife and your children at home, how to control your family at home. That need to stop. We don't need all this nonsense. Salva Kiir, we did not even vote for Salva Kiir. At least you Ugandan have voted for Museveni maybe sometimes back, before he started wrecking those elections. But for us here in South Sudan, we never vote for Salva Kiir. Salva Kiir have to go, and all his concubines and side chicks and criminal that behind his back, they all need to leave us alone. They all have to leave that country. That country is belong to 46 tribe plus. It's not only one community to be custodian, to make themselves like they are the owners of that country. No, we all fought, we all died for that country. This useless stuff need to stop. So again, I have finished all the audios that I brought in today. I will stop here. Then هاي بتاع حاجة اللي أنا جيت فوقه لأنه احتمال كبير في ناس ما بيعرفوا فيديو بتاع مرة ده من وين وجاي من وين. I've been following her for a little while now. So this video particularly, I see it like it's very important for us to know حاجات اللي هو قاعد يقولوا ده about us in South Sudan, including the other neighboring countries. شفت كيف? And look at this one here. Leave Uganda to Ugandan alone. You know, opposition are not only Ugandans. So nobody wanted to talk about Uganda. We don't even we're not interested in talking about Uganda, to be honest. But Uganda also need to leave us alone, because you guys have went deeper into our villages. You occupied, Museveni have occupied about 200 villages in South Sudan. The villages that border between Uganda and South Sudan. Do you guys know that? And your forces of UPDF are chasing our people away from their villages. We're struggling from you guys. So you go and tell Museveni to stay away from our borders, to stay away from our affairs, to stay away from our country at large, and we will leave Uganda alone. Otherwise, Uganda will be our topic until the kingdom come. All right. So everyone, thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing. If you did not share yet, share the video. If you didn't subscribe, your first time with me today, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every time we come live, so you get the notification and you join our discussion. Also to our brothers in Uganda, we wish you all well. We don't have bad heart, but we hate something called dictatorship and somebody coming to steal our own goods. That's what we are against. But for you as a citizen, we love you all. We want you to be peaceful neighbors. We want you to visit each other. We want you to live together. we just cross borders with border. People travel with border, even with bicycle, people can get to Uganda, or from Uganda to Numule. So we are brothers. So we don't want to be like hating each other, because there is no point of us to hate you as citizen, and you guys have to hate us as a citizen. We're not the people that creating the trouble. Is our leaders, useless leaders, from your side and from our side. So let us call for their sanction by international community, and they have to be removed by force if the US have to, and we will never regret that. We wanted freedom. All of us, we need freedom, So I will stop here, guys, and thank you for being here today. If you just came in, please share the video, and I will play my last song. Then, yeah. Not this one. Yeah.
Give thanks and praise to the Most High N and I for the people of South Sudan, Let's come together so we can resolve our own problems. Peace and unity is more important to our country. Anagi asalo mushkila ta hakuma shuno. Ananina gi asalo mushkila ta hakuma shuno. Ananina gi asalo malitu majojibu salam. Ananina gi asalo lifu de kulu le shuno. Ananina gi asalo wito maju salam aliatu. Salam aliatu. Ananina mazin salam tashukul waziri. Anina mazin tifagia tashukul naib rais. Anina bigata banin kalamu gasimu sulta wa mafi salam. Yaki junubin bigata banin kalamu gasimu sulta wa mafi salam. Shunu Santi Gideon di asalu sa mushkila bitakum shunu Nas ikat gi asalu mushkila bitakum shunu